All right, so welcome to Why Rush Racing. I'm Charlie Hawkins, and we got
Nathan Rector.
Nathan Rector. Nathan, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Did you get here okay?
Yep.
Yeah. No major lot getting lost or anything like that, and found our way down to the basement, and here we are having a good time. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to the show. Got a lot of good stuff. Of course, we got Mr. Globetrotter here, Nathan Rector. We got Mark Koch coming on later. He is the creator and starter. I don't know exactly all the titles, but he is the RevLimiter dude. That's who he is. And looking forward to have him on air in, I don't know, about a half an hour, 20 minutes or so. But first, I want to say, well, a few things about this show is thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been, actually, this is not blown smoke, but really has exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect, I thought maybe I'll get a good spike of people watching the first one, and after that, it's going to like dive into the dirt. Well, it hasn't, actually. And in fact, the Thorn, the last show we had was just outstanding as far as the number of views and how many people watched it, and then I can kind of see also on YouTube how many people have watched it. And so that's thanks to you guys, people like Nathan here coming on the show, and people like the Thorns out there and the Mark Cooks and everybody that's also willing for me to call and harass them for 20 minutes. So thank you for your time, Nathan, for being here, and I do appreciate it. And for you guys that are listening to this or watching this, let's try to keep growing this. Share it with people, talk about it, let people know about it. Nathan said he's going to start telling everybody at all the races. He says, "Man, Why Rush Racing, that Enduro talk, the best thing ever. You guys need to call, text Charlie. Hey, when can I be on the show?
Yep.
You going to do that?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Because he's going to be out there and hitting all the circuits, and so man, this is going to blow up. But anyways, so yeah, let people know about it. Subscribe, do all that stuff, and we'll have a good time. So. Anyways, thank you. And then also podcasts, you can always find it on there. I think I'm trying to make this very podcast friendly, a not as intensely visual like my race videos and a lot of my other videos, but this is also just where you can just listen. So anyways, enough about this show. Let's more about this guy here, Mr. Nathan Rector. Nathan, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where's hometown for you?
Rogersville, Missouri.
Rogersville, Missouri. And so we're in Springfield, Missouri. That's about 20, 25 minutes east of here. Glad you can make it. It's pretty hard just getting on Highway 60 and just cruising down here. So, and then, so how long have you been racing for? Or when did you start racing?
Oh, my dad got me my first dirt bike. I think when I was 4 years old and started racing immediately.
Oh, yeah? So, what was your first bike?
PW50.
A PW50? Yeah. I got one of those upstairs still. Like my kid, he's frustrating. He's super competitive, and I got him it. He went out and did a race, had fun, but he didn't win.
Oh.
And he's like, I'm done. Off-road. Oh. All right, Mark. We actually have Mark Koch. Mark, I'm glad you can make it here early. We'll be in touch here. Well, you have the agenda, but we'll be in touch shortly. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be awesome. Extreme RevLimiter. We'll be on there. Sorry. Yeah, Mark, we have the chat board. I didn't mention that. If you guys want to input on the show, do please. If you have questions for Nathan, Mark, who'll be on here soon, be sure to write the questions on the chat board, and we'll get them answered the best we can. Okay, so yeah, my kid is like, I didn't win, done. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just glad he's good at sports. Otherwise, he'd be like, I don't want to do anything. So he's good at basketball. He's good at soccer. He likes playing those. Baseball, he's like, he wants to just do away with baseball. It really breaks my dad's heart, but we'll see how it goes. So you rode PW50, and then so you've been kind of on the bike consistently since then, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite bike that you've been on?
Probably the YZ 252 strokes.
That's what you're on now, then, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh, you're on the 4-stroke.
Yeah.
So why the 2 strokes?
They're just can't beat them. They're fun. Can't break them.
Why are you on with that in mind, why are you on the 4-stroke now?
This year I went to A 4-stroke lights and GNCCs, so had to be on a 250F.
Oh, okay. So that's more or less just for the class.
Yep.
Okay. So if you had your way, you would be on the 2-stroke still?
I mean, just looking at trying to look at it long term. Look at you can see all the faster guys. They're on 250Fs.
Yes.
So it's that's why I'm trying to ride
Dude,
more.
some of those guys are on 450s now. Are you going?
No, I won't do that. I just
I don't understand it either, but are they so like? 'Cause like Stuart Baylor's on a 450 now, I believe, right?
Yes, he is.
Even in the National Enduros a 450, or does he have like a different bike for that?
Yeah, he rides 450.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I do not agree with that. That's very few people. I know there's people out there that disagree with me.
He told me that the 450, he likes the 450 better this year, the 19.
Oh, he's then the 18?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But he's also he's not a small dude. How much do you say that he weighs?
Oh, he is about like my size.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a little bit taller, so I'm like he's a built guy like
Yeah.
me.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so your 252 stroke's your favorite bike, and then so now you're on the 450. Are you 2018 or 19? What do you have?
19.
The 19 and it's Yamaha.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I'm guessing you may have gotten that from Marionville or
Oh yeah.
Marion. So I was talking a little bit about my going by there last week with Chris. I got my skid plate in. I need to do a video of that, of just kind of like a gear review.
Yeah.
But those things look sick. And,
Which one did you get?
I got the E-line.
Oh yeah.
So I went with carbon fiber. Just wanted to try something different, and I had the coverage that I wanted, and so we just went and got it. So, but no, you've been racing. You've been in AA now. You're a AA rider.
Yep.
Well, AA not just here locally, but nationally now as well. What are you riding? Oh, I guess you're riding A lights.
A lights at Sprint Enduros.
The Sprint Enduros. What are you riding in the GNCCs and the National Enduros?
National Enduros riding AA.
Okay.
And then GNCC's A 4-stroke lights.
A 4-stroke lights. Okay. So, but A lights, I guess they break it into another class for the GNCC just because of the number of riders.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like A250. Like I've ridden that for 2 years, I think.
Okay.
And it's just a much more competitive class, and dropping back to 8 lights, try to get that championship.
Oh, okay. Do you think you have a pretty good chance there?
Yeah, I think I have a good shot.
Okay. What about in the National Enduros? Or what about in the National Enduro class? The same thing?
Yeah, the first round was a little tough. There's everyone shows up to the first round.
Oh, okay.
So.
How many drops do you have in a season?
I think I have 2 or 3.
2 or 3? Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. And then what about in the we talked about the sprints? Do you have any goals in there? Or you said you may not hit the whole series there?
Yeah, just seeing how I do. Went to the first round, and then gonna do this next one, the second round, and see how I do. Go from there.
All right. One thing we didn't cover is how old are you?
18.
Well, you're 18?
18.
Oh, okay. And you graduated from high school early, so you graduated in December?
Yep.
Okay. And so you kind of had a pretty rad week, or month, I guess you said.
Yeah.
Tell me, what did you do leading up to the first National Enduro? What was going on there?
Oh, a month before I went down south to South Carolina with Logan Lowry.
Okay.
We went to Baylor's place and rode there.
I'm so jealous. That's awesome. So because it was more than, so there was you, Logan. Were there any other people out there with you guys outside of Stu possibly, or
Evan Smith? He was there a lot.
Another slow guy. Yeah. You smoke him. So here, Evan, this is how you do it. Is that how it went?
Oh no, not at all.
No.
Evan Smith is quick.
Oh man, is he? So he got for those of you that may not know, he got third at the first National Enduro. And Stu just barely beat him. He was running second until Stu just tore it on fire for the last test and got second place. By that time, was it Josh Strang? Who won?
Russell Bobbitt.
Russell. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. By that time, Russell Bobbitt was too far in the head. Oh, I was thinking of the Sprint Enduro the next weekend.
Yeah.
So, anyways. So you spent pretty much a whole month down in South Carolina just having fun and.
Yep, riding every day.
So jealous. That's awesome. So you're kind of like a full-time racer this summer.
Yeah.
And well, if you haven't caught on yet, he's doing the GNCCs, the National Enduros, most of, if not all of the Sprint Enduros.
Yep.
We haven't covered this yet, but last weekend you were where?
At the ISDE qualifier.
So he's trying to qualify for the ISDE and then hitting local races. So, for example, the GNCC is not this weekend now. It was supposed to be. So you're going to be
at the Hillbilly.
at the Hillbilly. And so like, okay, yeah, there's not much time. So it worked out really well that you graduated early from high school.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you're going to be missing school anyways. And they'd be like, sorry, Nathan, you got to come back another year because you missed too much school. But no, I'm glad you're here. And this is awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your plans and kind of what's going on. So what is, I like to talk about Instagram quite a bit. If you're interested, mine is Wirus Racing, all one word. But yours is
Nate Dog _385.
Nate Dog _385. Pretty good stuff, and you go out and dirt bike stuff, and so that's what I like to follow. I don't follow anything outside of dirt biking, but yeah, so you're one of them that I follow, and it's pretty cool. And so we're I guess, and then speaking of social media and all that stuff, where were you today, or no, what were you doing today?
Me and Noah rode at my house.
Noah Clark. So we had Noah on the second episode, I think it was, and his YouTube video. So I imagine we'll be seeing you.
Oh yeah, yep. He'll have a video up about it.
You roost him good, or you're?
Yeah, he actually got his new GoPro and luckily put a screen protector on because some roost cracked it.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
That was one question I used to ask: is who, like in the local series here, who's the guy that throws the most roost in your opinion?
Oof. Normally a big 450 throws a lot of roost, so whoever's on those.
Oh, okay.
It's
not so.
If you actually ask Cole, he normally says me and Noah throw the most roost.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So because it was like stuff like that. Back in where I'm at, we don't throw as much roost unless it's like perfect conditions. But when I used to be in the C class, it was kind of cool because I enjoyed the split format races because I could do my race, and then I could go and watch you guys come and just fly by.
Yeah. And
you have to stand a lot further back from the trail, from like when the B guys come by, and then you got to kind of take another step back whenever, especially if it's like a corner or something like that, where you're going to start going up a hill.
Yeah.
Because you guys just come just throwing and just throw rocks everywhere. And and that's how you hurt yourself as a spectator. Is not by getting hit by a bike necessarily, but it's just the rocks that come flying at you because you guys do not let go of the throttle. I don't know how you do it, but it's what you do. So, what outside of racing or riding dirt bikes, do you have any interests or hobbies that you try to keep up with?
Oh, in the summer I try to do quite a bit of mountain biking.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Yeah.
Did you go down to I went down to Bentonville not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
You've been there?
Oh yeah. That's a fun place.
That looked awesome. I don't have a proper mountain bike, I guess. It's more like just a ride around town bike that calls itself a mountain bike. But I saw that and I was like, oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
And do you go anywhere else in Arkansas or?
Eureka Springs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty good trail system there?
Yeah, they have a downhill park.
Oh, okay.
With shuttles. So.
Oh.
You don't have to pedal back to the top.
We don't want to work out, all right? We just want to go downhill.
Yeah.
Of course, I people say that about dirt biking, though, too, is how hard can it be? You got a motor, right?
Yeah.
Is it downhill mountain biking similar? I mean, you may not have to pedal, but it's still physically demanding?
Yeah. It's like every year we go to Colorado and do we rent big downhill bikes.
Oh, okay. So you're taking ski lift up and then,
yep.
Okay.
And you have to stop like midway and take a breath.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Huh. And so when you say we, is that you and your dad and somebody else or?
Normally Travis Renaud always goes.
Oh, okay.
And my dad, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we mentioned your dad now. Tell me a little about your dad or what he's got going on, because he's kind of who I first met of the Rectors, because you're not the first fast Rector that I know of.
Yeah. My dad's just helping me out this year. He's hadn't been riding a whole lot.
Yeah. But he is still very quick.
Yeah, he actually rode with me and Noah today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Awesome. That must be fun.
Yeah.
How old is your dad?
41.
40. He's young. So I guess, no, I'm thinking of my parents, but I'm quite a bit older than you. So I'm 36, so I'm 18 years older than you. But no, so yeah, your dad, Del Rector. By the way, Del's Roofing in Rogersville, Missouri. If you guys need any roofing needs or whatever, hit him up. He'll come out and personally do it. Nathan will. It's like, I want Nathan out. No, you actually don't. Yeah. If you want your gutters like to slope, towards the gutter, you don't want Nathan. No. So, but no, so your dad, our dads, I guess, kind of know each other just through business and stuff. and I guess we saw him at the first race, and we're like, oh, my dad was like, hey, Dale, you know, what class are you? And he's like, oh, well, unfortunately, I'm still fast enough I have to be in the AA class.
Yeah.
And at the time, he might have been 38. That's pretty awesome. To be just that fast and just have it for that long. Because, I mean, he's been racing for a while.
Yeah, he has. He's been racing since he was a kid also.
He has. Impressive. So, anyways, yeah, so Dale's, he's an awesome guy and just supporting you and able to allow you to do what you do. That's kudos to him. So mountain biking then. Do you ever go to Two Rivers here down in Nixa?
I do. Me and Noah go there a lot too.
Yeah.
He lives like 2 miles away, so.
I might. Oh, that's right. I think we talked about that. Do you ever? So I've hiked there, but I've never mountain biked. Do you ever do that first when you park? There's this huge downhill section that looks kind of super gnarly. Do you jump off that and just do it all?
Yeah.
I'm impressed. It looks like a death trap for somebody like me. But no, that looks cool. I would like to try that someday.
Yeah.
It need to be dry because there's a lot of wood, and I see wood and
slick. Yeah, it's slick.
It gets slick. But no, it looks like a lot of fun. Two Rivers is a neat place. Do you ever do the pump track there?
Not a whole lot of that.
Not too much work, or
no.
Just
downhill? No, just go.
Not as much fun.
Go out and pedal the trails.
Yeah, there you go. And then we talked about your plans. So, okay. Anyways, yeah, let's see what here. You want to give Mark a call and find out more about the RevLimiter?
Sure.
Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions for Mark, we're going to give him a call here very shortly. Type it down on the chat board, and we'll be sure to pass those along through. All right, Mark, if you're watching, we're going to give you a call here real soon. Hopefully this works. Yep. Fixed it so it doesn't beep super loud in our ear. It was really loud last week. Is it Mark?
This is Mark.
Hey, Mark. This is Charlie Hawkins with Y-Rush Racing. I got Nathan Rector here with us, and we're glad.
How's it going tonight, guys?
Oh, it's going great. And just want to point out again, we got on the phone with us here is Mark Koch. He is. Are you Mark? Are you the creator, promoter, the everything of the RevLimiter?
Yes, sir. I'm the promoter, the creator. I got some good buddies that always help me out and help. Without a good crew, it's always tough to pull off. But yep, I'm the promoter for the RevLimiter Extreme Enduro.
All right. So, and then the RevLimiter is going on its third year this year. It is going to be taking place on March. Well, actually, it's the Saturday and Sunday. Is that the 3rd and 4th or the 2nd and 3rd? I forget.
The 2nd and 3rd.
2nd and 3rd.
Yes.
And yeah, third year, and I say it's held every March, but it's being held in March. In previous years, it was in January. Is that correct?
Yeah, we started kicking it off in January when we first did it, and we thought, as Nathan knows how crazy the schedules are with NEPG, GNCC, all your local series. So we kind of did January because we thought, man, that's kind of our only time that we don't have a lot of local series that we're trying to step over and trying to coordinate with, because we try to work with everybody and try to make sure that it's on an off weekend. But just like this year, it's on one of the Missouri races. So it's always difficult to do that. But we've had some bad weather in January. We had a lot of guys that are switching teams, things like that. So as they're switching teams, they might not have their bike deals done in January or had enough testing on it that they feel comfortable. So we had to try to kind of push it back into March a little bit. Plus, each year, my wife's birthday's in January, and each year I'm always missing her birthday because we're always working on track. So I told her this year we would not host it in January.
There you go. If the wife's not happy, nobody's happy, and things don't get done, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we had
exactly.
But like I know the 100-miler, it's in November, late November of every year, and they kind of run into that same issue as far as contracts go with riders, and sometimes it's a challenge to get some of the top guys here because of that. But yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
It really
March.
is.
And then somebody here 317 motor racer said, yeah, it was 34 degrees, wind and rain for the first year. So.
Oh yeah, that was, I think that was so iconic. It just really kind of set the standard for us. Last year it was still cold last year, I think maybe in the 30s or something like that, 40s. But it was dry, so it wasn't as bad. So yeah, that first year was gnarly.
Oh, okay. So Nathan was there. Nathan, tell me a little bit about your experience that you had there.
Oh yeah, the first year it was gnarly. You had to team up with someone and take each other's bikes to the top of the hill. It was.
And this is coming from a AA rider.
Yeah.
So somebody like me would have been this SOL.
It's you'd have to find someone, and you seriously had to team up with someone, and you'd leave one bike down there. You get your first person bike up to the top, then you go back for the second bike.
Yeah. So, and Mark, I love the photo you have of Steve Levan there on your event on Facebook. And because I know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know Steve as a rider, because he promotes. He's the guy that runs the Moore series here in Missouri.
Right. The Moore series,
and he's a fast dude himself. And that look on his face. Have you seen the photo?
Yeah,
I've seen it.
That's definitely an awesome photo of him and JoJo Toole, which is out of Arkansas, that races up there with y'all sometimes.
Was that JoJo behind him in the photo then? Or
yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who that was, but okay, so that was JoJo. Okay, yeah, that kind of embodies kind of, well, I guess in a way, extreme racing, hard enduros, whatever you want to call it, in a lot of ways, which is even the top guys. It's a challenge to the mind and body, right?
Yep.
Right. Exactly. And that's part of our thing. As we put on the race. Last year we had Cody Webb and David Knight as some of the big names, with Jordan Ashburn, Corey Gefunder, a bunch of those guys. And what I'm trying to do with the race is have other classes. There's a lot of extreme races out there, but it's either your pro class or your non-pro. And, for us to try to grow the sport, I felt like we really needed to kind of include some classes. And that's where I did the class breakdown, and they're all AMA state championships. But I think that kind of gives you that sense of, I want to race other B riders, or I want to race other C riders that's at my same skill level. So I think that's one of the things that kind of sets us apart. And then you're still racing for the overall to move on into Sunday. But I think that kind of gives you a little bit, because we know that I can't go out and make a track that's going to only challenge Cody Webb, because then nobody else is going to get around it.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess where did the RevLimiter, where did it come from, the idea of it, or how did that come to fruition?
Well, so I've promoted races with our local series, TCCRA and Toro, and I was always, I was tired of the tracks the way they were, simple, hard pack, blue groove, nothing that challenged us. And so I would try to make my tracks harder. Kind of got my hand slapped a couple of times by the clubs, because they wanted them, easy enough for the 85s to be able to get around the big track. So, one day a buddy and I, Rick Nolan, we were scrolling through Facebook, and we found the Tennessee Knockout, and we were like, hey, let's go hit that this weekend. So we loaded up and we headed to Tennessee, and we got there and we're like, wow, this is awesome. This is our kind of race. This is the kind of stuff that I like to try to put on, because that's I want to challenge myself as a rider. So we kept going back every year to try to get further and further each year. And so that first year I thought, man, this is awesome. Next year we took some more buddies, and, they're like, Mark, you got to put this on. You got to do something like this. And so I just kind of worked with some other promoters. I worked with Eric Pinard, that puts on the TKO, Straight Rhythm, Enduro Cross, learned a lot of stuff from him, Mike Tosh, formerly with Kenda, and really try to take in a lot of stuff and make sure that I had everything in place. So it was 3 or 4 years in the making before I actually pulled the trigger, because I had to make sure that I had enough pro purse to actually, get the riders here and make sure that I had it. I wanted it to be successful. I didn't want to just kind of halfway put it on.
And absolutely. And it sounds like you didn't, because, I mean, this is your third year and you're going to have nearly 400 riders. It looks like you have pre-registered. Or is that right? About 400 there?
Yeah, I think we're like at 368 right now. Registration's already cut off, the online registration. What we do is, because of our format, I really try to restrict. And so we won't take any more than 300 on the morning race.
Okay.
That's non-pro riders. And then we'll have unlimited pro riders. That's not as big of an issue to have more pro riders. And I think currently on pro riders, we had a total of so far we got 54 pro riders signed up.
Oh, right on. So they signed themselves up, or so you think those are pretty good chance that they'll actually show up then?
Oh no, they signed themselves up.
Right on.
Some of the teams, I coordinate with them who's going to be there and everything. But yeah, that's actually all the riders that are signed up and pre-registered. Those are the ones that's going to show up.
Wow. So yeah,
or they've at least paid their entry fee to show up.
Yeah. So for an event that's third year, I'd say you have excellent growth.
Yeah, we're pretty proud with it.
Is Jordan Ashburn on that list?
Jordan Ashburn is not this year with the Cowie team. Yeah. I think he's really just focusing on the first year, GNCC with the new team and everything, and sprint enduros.
Yeah, that's
now.
What I heard.
I did hear a rumor that next year Cowie was supposed to be coming out with the 250F with the E-Start, and that kind of turned some ears, and so I'm hoping to see him back next year, because for me, I think he's one of the most all-around capable riders. I know he wasn't on the top of the podium at TKO or, at GNCC every weekend, but I think he could go from a GNCC to a sprint enduro to a hard enduro and be on the podium at every race.
He can really about do it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so a little bit, you mentioned something a little bit about the Saturday race and the non-pros and the pros. What is the format? Like, what kind of racing are you going to see on Saturday? Can you let me know or fill us in on that?
So Saturday we have two races. Our first race is for our state championship for all of our classes minus the pros. So we have open class, 30 class, 45 class, and that's A, B, and C classes. And then we have a women's class. So all of those are racing for state championship. It's a 2-hour race or 2 laps. And so it is started like a hare scramble style. So they're racing bar to bar with their class.
Okay.
Dead engine starts, and we start off with the A open class and go down from there. As we send them off by row, then what we do is we'll take
Quick question for you. You say state championship. Are you talking is this a Texas series, or is this related to the hard or not the series, but the state championship hard enduro that qualifies for the TKO? Or is this two different things we're talking about, or same thing?
So we're kind of talking about a couple of different things. There is, we're actually part of American Hard Enduro Series this year.
Yeah.
Which basically they're pulling our standings and our points for their standings, and then but it is a qualifier for TKO.
Okay.
For one thing, and
because
then
that's the one they're calling the state championship, right? For the qualifier for the TKO.
Well, that's the qualifier, but we actually have state championships. So at the end of Saturday's first race, we'll have an A Open Texas state champion for Extreme Enduro.
Oh.
Same thing for the A30 class. So, yeah, they're racing for that.
Oh,
that's
cool.
what they're racing for.
Okay.
So they're going to go home with – whoever wins is going to go home with one of those nice little AMA plaques that says, that AMA #1 plate. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And so, and those guys will be qualified or entered into the TKO as well then, no? Or is that true?
Yeah, I think it's like the top 10 get qualified in to bypass the first race in TKO or something like that. I mean, it kind of starts going in depending on if people are pre-qualified and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
But
so it is a TKO qualifier. It's a state champion, and then it's part of the American Hard Enduro Series. So we kind of have a smorgasbord of stuff going on.
You do, and that's pretty awesome. I think it's that niche of the sport is really growing. So, okay, so you were saying about, so you have the first race is 2 hours, then you were, before I interrupted, you were talking about the second race?
No. So the second race is our hot lap. And so what we do with that is we take the top 150 racers from the morning race. They'll move into the hot lap, and then we'll add in all the pros. We'll start with Cody Webb. We'll start off with the pros and how they finished last year. We'll start off with Cody Webb, then we'll send them that like that down to the overalls for the morning race, and we'll send the rider every 15 seconds.
Okay.
And that is just to see how fast they are on their hot lap. And out of all of those racers, we take 75 into Sunday.
Huh. So that was kind of the one question I had that I guess wasn't 100% clear. Is that would include the pros, everybody, like is the part of the 75? It's not just like the top 75 amateurs and then all the pros. The pros are part of that 75.
No, it's the top 150 amateurs that get to move on and race with the pros for the hot lap.
Oh, okay.
But we only had 100 overall last year that we moved on to the hot lap, but this year we bumped it up to 150.
Oh, okay.
Because we did have,
I think your website still says 100, or at least it did when I looked at it. But okay, so 100.
Okay,
150.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, so it gives, it's going to give 50 more guys a chance to do another lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they want it.
Yeah. There's a lot of truth to that.
Last year we took 100, but 100 didn't start the hot lap. Some of them opted to just go spectate.
Oh yeah, yes, or they didn't have an option. Their bike did not give them the option. I did the 100 miler this year, and I guess I somehow managed to qualify for the night race. And
oh wow, that's awesome!
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you. It was a mixed blessing for sure. But yeah, I was surprised because there was a serious debate in my mind about whether or not to do it. And in the end, obviously, you're going to do it. But
right.
It was, I could absolutely see where people would just choose to spectate and be perfectly happy with that decision. So, all right.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So the top 75 then qualify for Sunday. What is Sunday? What does it look like?
Yep. So Sunday, what we do is there's 3 races on Sunday. And we do moto format, so the lowest score wins. So, it's kind of similar to the Monster Cup, I guess, or not the Monster Cup, but
the Triple Crown, or is that you're saying?
Yeah, the Triple Crown, something like that. Yeah, pretty much. So, we start with those 75 riders, and we start them off based on how their hot lap was, 5 to a row. Send them off.
So you start the fastest riders up front.
Keep in mind. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so keep in mind, each race we go out and add more extreme sections.
Yeah.
So it progressively gets harder and harder.
Huh.
So the first race on Sunday is 2 hours, and that kicks off at 8:30. Then the second race is the same 75 racers lined up the same format, and it's an hour and a half long, and it starts at 1. At that point in time, then we look at the results and we take the top 25 guys in standing on to the last race.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's where we kind of get things that's where we totally change things up. So then it goes to a 25 bar to bar hair scramble start dead engine. We pull them in and we have a mile to mile and a half loop right there on the ridge line close to camp. And it's for 45 minutes, as many laps as you can get in.
And that's one thing that I think that I really like about your event, which is, sometimes when it comes to hair scrambles and enduros, what happens is, so the start happens and you're like, all right, cool. Well, they're off. I guess I'll see them in 30 minutes, and then they come by for 10, 15 seconds and they're like, all right, go guy, and then you're waiting around for another 20, 30 minutes. And what I like about this idea of this Rev Race 3 is it's a mile to 2 miles, and so every couple minutes, somebody they're coming by again. or not every couple minutes, but 10 minutes, let's say, right? Because it's
and the way it's situated, you can hop from spot to spot and just walk from spot to spot and catch different action. It's
kind of like a clover leaf, or sort of like where it kind of loops back on itself.
Yeah.
And the way we have the whole course, and that's why we've been at this property for 3 years now, is the fact that we have good accessibility. And I can't remember if it was Mitch or Quinn. One of them said, they said, they thought it was really cool. No, it was Corey last year. Corey said that, he thought it was really cool. You'd be out in the middle of the woods, and all of a sudden you'd come around a corner and there'd be 50 spectators. So he's like, you knew something was coming up, but he's like, every hard, extreme obstacle was easily accessible for all the spectators. So, all of our stuff's really close to camp, really easy to get to. We have stuff on the backside of the property, but it's also easy to get to, and we got good trails so people can ride their four-wheelers or side-by-sides, or if you get knocked out and you want to ride your bike over there to watch your buddy, how he fares on one of our, TKO Creek or Weeks Hill or any of our, we try to name a lot of our obstacles.
Yeah.
And then we'll post up a map. We post up a map so the riders and the spectators know, okay, when we say, hey, we're going to go up Grandma's house, they know where Grandma's house is. Or if we go to Max Cooler, they know where Max Cooler is. And so we really try to do that to help the spectators out. And then also next to the map, we typically have a big whiteboard, and then we'll write in like race 1, and then we'll write in which obstacles we're adding in for that race.
Yeah.
Race 2 and which obstacles. So, because we don't want the spectators to go stand over at Grandma's house if we're not running Grandma's house this race.
Absolutely.
So,
and then so it kind of becomes an issue of not like, where is the action, but it's like, where isn't it? And then you can easily find it.
Oh yeah.
So that's awesome. And
yeah.
So that sounds like a just way to go. So I guess RevLimiter, spectator friendly. So even if you're not racing,
go to it.
Actually, I know a couple people from this area that aren't going to be racing in it, but they still plan on being down there. There are racers here, but they want to go there and just to spectate. They want to see the Cody Webbs. They want to see the Mario Roman and the Wade Youngs of the world, and just watch an amazement. So a lot of opportunity there. What I guess outside of obviously the spectator friendliness, because TKO I think kind of has that as well. What do you think sets the RevLimiter apart from maybe some of the other hard enduros?
I think some of the things that set us apart is, we have live scoring with live laps. Those guys have been really great. So, people on the East Coast, West Coast, Bangladesh, China, whatever, they can log on to live laps and they can actually see the riders when they're coming through and checking in. So we have live scoring. So that's pretty awesome, so it's really fast and easy. Yeah. The other thing that I think that really sets us apart is we're always trying to think outside of the box. And so one thing that we did this year is, because we know people are coming from so far, is we have a front piece of property that there's 2 pieces of property that we have leased, and the front piece, we don't even go there. I've been there for 3 years, and I didn't even know part of it even existed until this year because it's a lot of flat grass track stuff, and there's some woods and stuff. And when Nider was out this year, a couple of months ago, he's like, hey, why don't we run up here? And I was like, well, I don't want to give y'all a breather, so I'm going to keep you in the rocks. I'm going to keep you on the hillsides.
You sound mean.
So we actually... So we actually have a local series, because one of the things is we're always trying to figure out, how do we grow this sport? How do we grow this genre of racing to make it where it's a staple in the U.S. like it is in Europe? Well, how do you do that? Well, your sponsors want more exposure. You got to put it in front of people that typically don't see this stuff or don't even know who Wade Young is. So what we've done is we have them setting up a course on the front piece of the property. So on Saturday, they're going to be racing. They're finished before all of their races is finished before we start our hot laps. So then all of their spectators and racers are going to trickle over to come watch us. Same thing on Sunday. once they finish racing, they're going to be able to come over and watch our last race. So all that does for our sponsors and for our racers is it gets them more exposure. There's more pictures going out. There's more videos. There's more hashtags. The sponsors, that's what they want. So we're turning it over to a whole new group of people because these guys, this series, Curtis runs it, and in that series, they don't want anything hard. Like I said, their track's going to be about 4.5 miles worth of grass track, a little woods. They race for about 60 minutes. So what we try to do is have them on site so we can have twice as many spectators for our finale, twice as many spectators, tweeting out Wade Young. I know you're going to tweet something because Cody Webb follows you.
Yeah.
But, so we know that that's how we have to do. We have to expose other people to our style of racing to get them interested. So that's what we're doing this year to really kind of change it up. And I think it'll be really great.
So
we got a lot of, I had a call the other day from some guys in San Diego. They wanted to come out from San Diego. They thought about it. They're like, man, that's a long drive for a 2-hour race that we're going to maybe get knocked out and not get the race. Once I told them that if you get knocked out, you can still go up to the front piece of the property and race with those guys on Sunday morning and still be able to come back and watch all the action. Man, they immediately signed up.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was getting ready to
you know?
point out. So I don't know if a lot of people knew about that. I mean, that's the first time. Did you know about that?
No.
And so if you're watching at home, and you're one of those people that I've spoken to about the RevLimiter, is there's some non-extreme racing that you can do, I guess, if you don't want to be, doing the hard enduro, but you want to go watch. There's take your bike. You can still race. That's awesome. I didn't know about that opportunity, so that's excellent. I just wanted to point out we have.
I think that'll really help.
Aaron Shepard, I like his comment here. He said, "Not sure what Grandma's Place is, but sounds terrifying. Anything with an innocent name like that must be difficult." So, how did Grandma's Place come about?
So Grandma's Place came about as we're putting in our first year's trail. We're going through and we had this big log, and then we knew we're going up this it's a little creek bed, and so I was trying to tell my buddy where the track was going. I said, over the log, and then I was like, over the log through the woods to Grandma's house we go. Well, so it just kind of stuck. So we're like, that's Grandma's house. So we go over Long Henry Log to get to Grandma's house. But I can tell people that's ridden Grandma's house, Grandma's cooking up something special this year. So, it'll be a little different in Grandma's house this year. So
then I have another question is how muddy is Rocky Ridge right now?
It rained. I was out there earlier today. It was a little slick in camp. The flat rocks and the mud is a little slick today, but I think it should be dried off. And next week, it looks like we're having some, it's going to be windy for a few days. So it should be perfect dirt for camping area.
Yeah. And it can't be nearly as bad as the first year, right?
It won't be as nearly as bad as the first year by any means.
There you go. So
it'll be good.
We want to see you out there.
Yeah, I think, and that's one of the other things I think that we do is we really have, I'm sitting here actually working on registration packets. We try to make our registration seamless for the riders. We try to make that really easy because I know that's a big thing is, we do a couple of things like that. Our live feeds, we really try to do a lot of live feeds during the race to keep people updated so they can look at the results, look at our live feeds, kind of know what's going on. So that's another thing that, if you're
feed,
not coming out.
Talking about live, are you talking about live labs or is there like Instagram or Twitter? What are you talking about?
Live, Facebook Live. That's what I should say. Yeah. Facebook Live. Yeah, we try to post up videos during the race. Like myself, as I'm running over to help pull people up hills, I'm videoing and telling, trying to do some commentary about who's in the lead, what lap we're on, what's going on. So we try to do that throughout the race as well, just to kind of get people that weren't able to come out to be able to see the action. And so a couple of other big things that we have this year is so Wednesday and Thursday before the race, we actually have Mario Roman coming out and doing classes at the property. So that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
And then Friday evening we have Cody Webb doing a webinar, all pun intended with the web, but he's doing a webinar with his mechanic and Brian Pierce from Seat Time. We're going to sit down and do kind of like a round table and talk about extreme bike setup.
So you say webinar. So I mean, he's going to be there, obviously. I think, right?
Yeah.
And then
so
we say
webinar because it's WEBB.
Oh, sorry. That pun went completely right over my head. Okay. So it's not going to be on internet, like live stream or something like that then? No.
Yeah, we'll probably do Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, okay.
But he's going to be on site, and Motion Pro's going to be there. Red Bull's going to be there. They're going to be giving away some goodies as well. So yeah, it'll be a good time. So between Mario and Cody, we got Wade running around somewhere. I don't know what we're going to do with him yet, but we're really trying to, give everybody that comes out a good experience. And I think that's one of the best things about off-road is that, you can go up and talk to Cody Webb. You can go talk to Wade Young. You can go talk to any of the pro guys. It's, because it's so laid back and easy going, because I think a lot of them know that either they're probably going to need you to move out of their way when they're lapping you, or they're going to need you to help push their bike up that grandma's house.
Absolutely. And so what time on Friday does kind of the activity start as far as the webinar and whatever else?
So Cody Webb will start at 4:00, and he'll start that at 4:00.
Okay.
And so we'll do that. We'll kick it off. Yeah.
And then so really, if you're not going to be doing the Mario Roman's class on Thursday, you want to be there by 4:00 to kind of hear some of the top secrets from the Webster. Awesome.
Exactly. So
obviously
the gates open up early morning Friday.
Okay, and then there's camping. Is there camping there on site?
Yeah, we have camping. So we have a gate fee of $15 a person. That covers everything. That covers the whole weekend. And if you're coming to camp, then, you camp for $15. So it's pretty awesome. It's primitive camps. We don't have showers or anything like that or hookups. But like I said, we got plenty of space for everybody. So bring your camper out. Come on out. Watch Cody Webb at the webinar, and then, watch everything that goes down for the weekend, and bring your dirt bike. And if you don't want to race some hard stuff, then go on the front piece of the property and race with Torn. Like I said, we personally race at Torn races from time to time, and it's a good group. And like I said, I think it gives us also extra track for people that are coming in from Michigan or Pennsylvania, and it's snowing. They need to kind of warm up their bikes so they can go over and jump on their track at 8:00 that morning, because they have open practice.
Oh, they do.
And so you can go over there and turn a few laps just to get warmed up before you go through the starting line for us.
There you go. Do you have to, so if you do that though, do you need obviously, do you have to pay any kind of practice fee or insurance,
nope.
or something like that, or you can just roll on over there?
The $15 at the gate gets you.
Oh, either way, awesome. It sounds like a sweeter deal. Wow.
We actually lowered our prices to work with Torn, so we wanted it to be seamless, coming through the gate, nice and easy. Pay your $15 and come either burn laps on the Torn track or come on down and rest her up for the RevLimiter.
Yeah. So last year you were part of the state series as well, and then now this year you're part of the AMA American Hard Enduro. With that kind of growth, there seems to be always more people and stuff like that involved. Does part of being a hard enduro, I think there's a lot of creativity in how you guys set up your courses. Do you see any limitations or in how you can do what you do, or you kind of have a blank slate and just go with it?
No, luckily, Eric Kudla with the AMA, when he was developing the genre for the extreme enduro or the discipline under the AMA, it's very loose. So there's a lot of ability to have that creativity. And as you look at the American Hard Enduro Series or all of the other state championships, every one of them seems to have a little bit of a different format, a little bit different class structure. And so, yeah, that's the awesome part is, you know, we still get to kind of create it and make it our own.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah. So we mentioned we have Cody Webb there. There's a number of other top Americans. Who do you think, you know, of course we're arguing about rooting for Cody Webb for the overall, but it's kind of like watching Enduro cross almost, where Colton Haker, but who's going to, in Enduro cross, who's going to get third, you know who first and two are getting first and second for the most part, unless somebody crashes out. Who do you think some of the top American guys are going to be to watch this next weekend?
Quinn Wetzel, Mitch Carvoth, those guys are always strong in those types of conditions. You got Kyle Redmond. He's coming back this year. He's with the, I think, Topar Racing. You got Nick Farringer, Grayson Gonzalez. Then, you know, from there, I mean, you got Max Gersten, Tristan Hart. I mean, it's a pretty stacked field. I mean,
kind of a who's of Enduro cross and just whatever. Yeah,
I expect 25 strong racers on that finale. That it's going to be awesome. You know, because we got, you know, and then you throw in Mario and Wade in the mix, and then, you know, and then you get those ones that Max Gersten, Kevin Dupois out of Canada. He's coming down with Tristan Hart. So, you know, you got a lot of people that at any point in time in this industry, in this type of racing can all of a sudden show up on top.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome. I think this year, last year, I felt David Knight was kind of closing in on Cody. I think Cody still had another level to give at any point in time. But I think this year with the conditions being a little wetter, and then, you know, we've actually added in a lot of new stuff this year. I think it's going to be a good battle.
Awesome.
So I'm excited for it.
Now, you're in Texas. There'll be a lot of Texas spectators. Who's the Texas racer, the home favorite, I guess, that you'll all be rooting for?
You know, for our hometown, I mean, we don't have any of the top pros.
No, but
for
who's
the hometown?
Yeah, but there's somebody like around here. It'd be like, I guess, I don't know. There's a bunch of us.
It would be Nathan, right?
Of course, it'd be Nathan. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I brain farted there. It'd be Nathan. So Steve, is he like kind of considered one of the top guys that could possibly make it all the way through, or?
Yeah, we always root on Steve, but actually, I haven't seen Steve's name, so that was kind of, so, you know, we got people like Cutter Holloway, James Hill, you know, we got Hayden Franklin is usually our top local guy that everybody roots on. Hayden Franklin's an awesome trials rider, awesome all around. I think he's like an 8-time Texas Enduro champion. So I think Hayden Franklin is the guy that typically everybody kind of cheers on for around here.
Awesome.
So.
Well, Hayden, we're rooting for you, bud. Go get him.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we get you guys from up there in Missouri. They come down and you know, y'all know how to ride some rocks.
Yeah, we do. That's about all we have. So I hope we know how to ride them. But yes, absolutely. Well, Mark, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
You know what I look forward to is, because I can't make it, is about the following 2 weeks. It seems like every day there'll be like 2 or 3 new videos of just, you know, especially Seat Time's going to be there, right? He'll be filming. Brian will be. And
yeah, we got Seat Time. We got MK Visuals. She always puts out a couple of videos. Carter York, he usually races and then puts out a few videos. He's not racing because I think he had an injury, and so he's just kind of recovering. So he should be out there. We have the Geograph drones coming out. That's going to do some drone footage for us. So I think we're going to see a lot of good footage coming out. And then with that many spectators, you know, you're always going to see those raw clips of somebody just sending it.
Yes, absolutely. Like I know the guy. So the first year, the guy that looks like he's going to land on his back and just fold in half, Trinity.
Yep. Trinity.
Photos like that is what we need more of. That's an epic photo right there. But absolutely. I'm looking forward to the event, looking forward to the future of your event, and just thank you for coming on, and we'll be catching up in the future, all right?
Nope. Thanks for everything you are doing. Love the show. Ready for show 6 and keep it going strong. So we appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Take care. Bye.
All right. Thanks.
That's a busy dude.
Yeah.
His wife is so happy she moved it to March. Can you imagine? And I don't know if you saw, have you seen any of the Facebook photos he has on there? Because he's building like just a gnarly looking like matrix section thing.
Yeah, I think it's every year it's harder.
Ooh. So anyways, yeah, if you guys want to go see an Austin race, go down to Texas this next weekend. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So wish I could be there. Got other stuff. Unfortunately, I am hot on the hillbilly points right now for the BVET. So I'm going to be racing somewhere else. So anyway, okay, Dylan, curious. Hopefully I didn't miss it. Was so many amateurs signed up and doing hair scramble type of start? Will there be multiple rows of the same class signed up on based upon sign up times? So Dylan, no, I believe is the answer. It's going to be kind of like a normal hair scramble start. So there's only 400 riders, and that's not a huge. That's not abnormal, I guess, for a hair scramble. It'll start, the double A guys, and then kind of move back to the A, B, and C, and break it down probably between the ages as well in the age groups. So it'll be a hair scramble start. It'll be, probably spaced a minute apart as a normal hair scramble would be, and then from there it's more based upon times after that. But you got to get through that first round first. And Steve Akers. Yes, Steve, thank you very much. So I don't know if anybody knows or not, but so the Missouri Hair Scramble, I raced that last season. I was a B vet, and I actually won Most Improved. So pat myself on the back there. So very awesome. Thank you, everybody. That was voted upon by the racers themselves. So, and what happened there is Steve forked over a bunch of money for a really sweet Shoei helmet. And so, Steve, thank you very much. Crap, I'm sorry. I forgot the name of your company, Steve. If you type it up there again, I'll say it out loud. But it's in St. Louis area, and actually might be he's a gutter. Does he compete with you guys then? If he does guttering?
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay. But he's not in the same area. But. Okay. But anyways, yeah, Most Improved. So I got a helmet out of that. So anyways, thank you, everybody. I do appreciate it. And Steve, thank you especially for doing that for us. Okay. Yeah. Armin Seamless Guttering. So yes, Steve, thank you. I do appreciate it. Enough about me, more about Nathan. ISDE qualifier. We kind of talked about that a little bit in the beginning. Tell me a little bit about how that works, because I just don't know.
It co-sanctioned with the like Enduro series, local Enduro series down south, and it's sprint Enduro style. And it's
because I looked like that. You had 2 loops.
Yep, 2 loops.
You did it 3 times each day.
Yep.
Okay, and then so the first day it looked like it was just the ISDE guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 2-day deal. It's Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
And did you run it kind of like it's a ISDE? So you did your things, you did your maintenance and all that, like you're in a race?
No, it was just strictly racing. Like,
okay.
The next 2, they said that it will be like impound bike and all. It will like be full ISDE.
So day 1, so you don't really get to touch your bike between day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
The next 2.
Yeah.
Events, which is in Michigan and Pennsylvania?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Okay. So this is pretty much just a straight up sprint enduro for 2 days then.
Yep.
Is what it was. How were the conditions, or what was it like?
It couldn't been better. It was perfect.
Perfect. What was the terrain like? What kind of ground were you riding on?
It was like just red sand, just perfect red sand.
Oh, right.
It was a great place.
I'm so jealous. I need to like load up my trailer and just drive, somewhere, because the furthest I've ridden is Park Hills. No, that's not true. I went to Cahokia.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the furthest I've ever been from home. That's only 5 hours away. It's kind of sad, but that's not furthest I've been home with my motorcycle. So I've traveled other places, but never with a dirt bike, and never to these red sands and places where there's no rocks and just stuff like that. So one day. So how did you do? Because it's 2 days, and so we had Thorn Devlin here on. He called in. We called him last week. So he was there, and another of other people. How did you do for the weekend?
I mean, for the weekend overall, I was third overall for the weekend.
Yeah,
with the 2 days combined.
Okay, and then so how'd you do on day 1 and day 2?
Day 1, I was fifth.
Fifth?
Like, it was kind of a struggle the first day.
Just not having the flow, or
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling the flow, and
no single incident or get off that slowed you
No.
down. Just the flow wasn't there.
yeah,
Okay, but you found your flow by Sunday.
yeah. By the end of the test on the first day, I finally found it.
Okay, was it just because you weren't used to that kind of sand?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Okay. But that's when you're a top level guy, you find it pretty quickly and just keep going. Whereas me, like 2 years later, I'm still struggling on it. So, way to go. So, yeah, third for the weekend. And so, when I look at it, a lot of times when I'm seeing it, I see like E1, there's a lot of E1 and E3. And I want to say like E1 is, in my mind, it's to be like that's top, then 2, then 3. But that's not the case.
No.
So what? Because I see these in the results, and I was like, this makes no sense. Can you explain a little bit to me what E1, E2, and E3 is?
E1 is like 125 and 254 strokes. And then E2 is 252 strokes and I believe 450s.
Okay.
So that's quite a big range there. But
Yes.
And then E3 is like open, like so 302 strokes to 504 strokes.
Okay. And then, because then I was saying, well, that's the classes that the Ryan Sipes or whoever else would be in. But that's still another kind of like class. That'd be the trophy class.
Yeah, they have like the trophy team, but they have to fall within those class. Like, so they have to have one rider that's riding
Oh, they do.
a 250F or 125.
So they have an like E1, E2, and E3 in the trophy class. On the team.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many, is it 3 or 4 people, 3 or 4 riders on a team?
It's 3 for
3?
like the local or the
club teams?
club teams.
Okay.
Uh,
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Actually,
Maybe somebody out there can. If you can remember, let us know. But so you were in the
E1,
and so okay, and then like, but when it came to the overall for the weekend, you were third.
Yep.
How were you in E1?
Nathan Furderer beat me. I was second.
I know that name. Okay, so he does
National Enduros.
Yeah, but what class? He's not in the AA with you.
No, he's Pro 2.
Pro 2.
Yep.
Right on. So you got second. I'd say that's a pretty solid third place there. So second place to the Pro 1 guy. Third place. First was a Pro 1 dude. Second was a Pro 2 dude in the National Enduros, and then you. So yeah, I'd take that. But you had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the highlight? I guess getting third.
Yeah, that. And, I don't know. It was all fun.
Yeah.
Just once I finally started riding good.
Yeah. Who all was there with you? From any? I guess James King.
James King was there.
And then any other? Did you have any other support there, or were you just kind of on your own?
My dad was there.
Oh, Dale was there.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Did he ride at all, or did he? He didn't race, did he?
No, he didn't. He always goes to National Enduros and helps me pit and stuff like that. Gasses me up.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Dale. So good weekend overall. When is the next qualifier?
Oh,
I didn't write it down.
I didn't either. But I just know it's Battle Creek.
It's in the future.
Yeah. I just know it's Battle Creek, Michigan.
So Michigan's the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this weekend is supposed to be the first round of the GNCC. I guess the key word where they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's been raining, kind of like seems like everywhere lately. Been here in Missouri, obviously in South Carolina. They canceled it. Is what happened. Too much mud. What's your thoughts on the cancellation of the mud?
Just like I told you earlier, I'm happy not going to destroy a bike.
Yeah. What do you? I mean, because that. What would you think the turnout would be for that?
I mean, I remember a couple years ago when I went to the X Factor and it was complete mutter. It was like so few riders that they actually combined the morning race and the afternoon race.
Oh, wow.
And it was just 1 2-hour race.
Oh, really? So they shortened it too?
Yeah.
But it still got super spread out and just the course got like 100 meters wide. And
It was. Crazy.
Huh. So that's kind of one thing is like once you get that big of a series, I mean, seriously, there's like at that race there easily be 2,000 people there, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Is we're not we're not putting lime down on our track, but at the same time, if everybody's going to get stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of just ruins the whole point of having the race, and then you may not get people back, and you may not have property owners, that are willing to host the race.
Yeah, because it destroys property.
Oh yeah, I forgot the name of the property up north. The Missouri Hare Scramble was supposed to race there 2 years ago, but it just got destroyed by another series, and they're like, sorry, it's not good here, so I'm not coming back. And like, shucks. But because I heard a lot of positive things about that property, but once it got destroyed, they're not too willing to have other races there. So it makes sense. It kind of poo-poos in our idea of us being, we don't cancel because of rain. Well,
yeah,
we do, but
even on a dry or a like perfect weekend at GNCC's, it puts a hurting on the course or the property.
Could you imagine? I mean, just I know around here how rough it gets with 200 riders.
Yeah,
could you imagine like having 1,000 riders in a weekend?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I mean, their course is a little longer, but it's not that much longer to really make up the difference. So I don't know what that one means, Eric. That place was fun too. Shoot. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know. That's the way it goes. GNCC canceled, and hopefully they'll reschedule it for when it's going to be dry.
Yeah,
who knows when that's going to be? But what do you think? Because somebody said, wait, that place is fun because I guess there's a bunch of creeks there. Have you raced there before?
Yeah, Big Buck, yes.
Yeah. Is there a bunch of creek crossings and stuff like that there?
Yeah, there's a few, but there's like jumps over them that you can take. Like there's always the big famous like creek jump that everyone goes.
With the mud pit right after it, and then people go over the handlebars. Is that the one?
No, that's Powerline Park.
Oh, okay.
And is that Ohio, I think, maybe?
I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure. But that's Powerline Park that you're thinking of.
Okay, because I guess... Oh, Newark. Yeah, that's the one that was canceled, Eric. Yeah, unfortunately. But I was looking forward to that race, then it got canceled just because the race before, another series, just destroyed it. And but anyways, yeah. So, but one thing I like, I guess the Big Buck has been kind of typically a fairly warm race.
Yeah, it's always been like a very like warm and like perfect condition race every year. Like it's.
But you said very warm though. That takes it out of the perfect condition category for me.
Oh,
but because I always like look forward to like the creek crossings, but then you said you jump over them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh dang it, I'm not getting that douse of water to cool me down. And so, but no, I like the winter racing personally, and it's because I get hot, very hot. But no, so you like the warmer. You can handle the heat a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer colder weather, but
you take what you can get. You're racing. You're having fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mentioned a little bit hillbilly round. Oh, here, let's see what this question is from Daniel again. I think the last time we raced Newark 2 seasons ago, it was crazy muddy. Okay, yeah, that was an OMA race. I didn't really say that. But no, that was not a Missouri Hare Scramble, I don't believe. So I think I don't know. Anyways, I think that's pretty accurate what I just said there. Anyways, it's my show. I can say what I want, right? No. So, yeah, we have the round 5 of the Hillbilly. So you're not racing in South Carolina anymore. You're racing here locally.
Yep.
And that's going to be in Bolivar. So for those of you that are not completely familiar, this is kind of like considered Bolivar South course. Lou's Place is also up near Bolivar. It's just north of Bolivar. This place is just south of Bolivar. I believe it's on Highway Y, about a mile or 2 miles east of Highway 13, if you guys are interested. It's going to be an awesome time. It's Sunday. You can definitely camp Saturday if you want to come up there early. But no, I'm looking forward to that place because it kind of has an all kinds of mishmash of terrain, right?
Yeah.
There's usually a pretty good amount of grass track if you like that. Mm-hmm. I tend to always wipe out in the morning whenever it's kind of slick still. Yeah. But you got grass track, you got some rock gardens, you have just some awesome dirt, flowy stuff. You definitely have the rocks. We're in Missouri. We're not going to go away from rocks. You got some pretty sweet creek crossings. I don't know. It's been quite a bit of amount of rain. There's on the back portion of the property, there's a really awesome creek we can ride in. But I think it's a little wet for us to be able to ride that. Who knows? But no, I'll be there. Nathan will be there, and I hope to see you guys all there because it's going to be a good time. I like the Hillbillies. It's an hour. Well, it's a split format race for one, which I always like. So if you're a C rider, you'll race at 11 o'clock. You get there about 8 o'clock or 7:30 or so. Sign up, register, go on a practice lap about 9:30, and then race at 11. And then if you're a PM guy, you get a race at 2 o'clock, which I love because I can sleep in just a little longer on my Sundays. So my message got on the chat. It was the OMA. I just wrote, Daniel, he was just at Chadwick. Best place you've ever been. Awesome. Chadwick. Do you go to Chadwick much?
Yeah, I live, not a whole lot, but I live about 15 minutes away.
Yeah, you just go straight south on 125?
Yep.
Yeah, so not too bad. 15 minutes, really?
Yep.
It's awesome. So, yeah, my only beef with Chadwick is it's expensive for me to ride there.
Yeah.
Because I'll see stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then I can't. Well, I can, but it just takes a little bit of carnage to do it. So, yeah. Anyways, split format, 2 o'clock, and so you can watch, your buddies at one race and then race the other, either way. So AM, PM, who knows? So, anyways, what other do we? Charlie. What? Okay. Yes. Okay, we've settled it. It's OMA. All right, good. So, wasn't going to try to throw him down the river, but I did. So we've talked a little about Noah Clark. I was going to ask. I like to ask my guests, who do you follow on whatever social media, and yours is?
Nate Dogg.
You're of course Nate Dogg 385. But I'm saying, who's your number one go-to guy?
Go follow Noah.
Outside of Y-Rush Racing, I mean, of course, right?
Yeah.
So first he checks Y-Rush Racing, and then it's at Noah Clark 32.
Yep.
And but no, so and then that's one thing I wanted to mention. So this podcast thing has been pretty sweet. How I came about it is do you listen to podcasts at all?
Mm-mm.
You drive halfway across the country. You don't listen to podcasts.
No.
So what you need to do, there's this app, right? Do you have an Apple phone or Android?
Apple.
Okay, there's this app called Podcast. You go on there, you type in something you're interested in, and then boom, just all these shows because it's really actually not that difficult to make a podcast. You just kind of just sign up and hit save, and I do have to pay $20 a month, but there. So that's really all the cost there is, and then you just hook up the computer and talk. You can actually even do it through your phone if you wanted to. But no, it's awesome for road trips. I mean, that's what got me into it. I start for work. I'll drive. I drove to Columbia and back today, and yeah, you listen to podcasts. And if you're driving halfway across country and you haven't discovered podcasts yet, you need to get on it. Because outside of obviously Y-Rush Racing and Enduro Talk, what you need to be listening to is another one that I found that started, oddly enough, at the same time mine did. Because the reason I started this here is because I was trying to find a podcast that was dedicated to off-road racing, not motocross, not flat track, not road racing, all that stuff. Off-road racing, enduros, hare scrambles, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. There wasn't any. I was really surprised because there's 1,000 podcasts for everything out there, but there was none current, I should say. Seat Time, we mentioned with Mark. We were talking to Mark about that. You heard him. He did say that the Seat Time's going to, he's still active. I mean, Brian didn't go away. He's just not doing a regular podcast anymore. So when he did do it, I listened to it. And I missed it for the last 2 years, and so here I am. I'm doing one because I'm like, well, okay, I guess somebody's going to have to do it, and it's going to be me. But anyways, another guy had the same thought almost at the exact same time, and he did, it's called Inside Enduro. He's out of Arizona. He covers the Western stuff, and he's done 3 episodes so far. This is my 5th, and we started at the exact same time. It was kind of odd that would happen, but it's pretty cool, I think, at the same time. So download that. Download obviously Y-Rush Racing. You can rehash oh yeah, I killed it, right? So and then on your next trip. So podcast in your car. I think that's the way to go to this stuff. I couldn't personally watch this for an hour and 15 minutes on YouTube, But thank you for guys that did, especially you, Daniel and Noah. Here we go. So IER president Drake, yes, doesn't know what he's talking about. I think he was the guy that flown in. I heard somebody leaving, like there was a bad crash and whatnot at that Newark race with the LMA, but I don't know about anybody flying in. Who knows? But anyways, yeah. So it was kind of cool. Inside Enduro, another podcast you guys can listen to out there. But yeah, any other parting words of wisdom for us, or do you want to shout out to your sponsors?
Oh, sure. I'll give those a shout out. The first one is Marionville Power Sports. They help me out a lot. And then Enduro Engineering, Dale's Roofing, Max's Tires, Factor Connection, Enduro Engineering. I think I said that. But Works Connection, Uri Grip, Recluse, FMF, Pro Taper, XC Gear, Motion Pro, Warp 9, Wheels, Seat Concepts, IMS, and Bell Helmets, and Scott Goggles. Right
on. Yeah, so I did. As mentioned earlier, went by Marionville Power Sports this afternoon. Spent more money than I'd wish to, but that's kind of the way it goes. And this is not a free sport. And but you know what? We're supporting those who support us. So I highly encourage you to do that. If you notice, none of those people were online retailers. So I am a huge fan of supporting the brick and mortars. I don't know about you, but Marionville Power Sports here in Springfield or in the area. So rich lawyer guy has someone else take his bike to the race that gets flown. No way.
Yeah, I think that guy's done, or is that the same guy that's done some of the more races?
Oh.
He has someone
out of St. Louis.
Brings his bike and then he flies in on a helicopter.
Yeah. But no, that's wild. So I've seen that at a couple of the more races. This guy. Yeah. And I think he's out of St. Louis. And kids love it. I love it. I film it. And hey, there's a helicopter. And actually pitted right next to them one day. And so it was like, hey, what's up? But no. Support your local people. I know here in Springfield, there's a number of people you can choose from outside of Marionville Power Sports, of course. But yeah, just do that because they are the ones that really support us. There is the race gas stuff, but we don't need to get into that. So Rusty, you say don't hate because if I win Powerball, I'm doing the same. After you give us a boatload of money too, right? Kick in, share the love, right? Anyways, this is Why Rush Racing. Nate, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for timing in. Love the chat board. And we'll see you guys at the next race. And be sure to subscribe, follow, all that stuff. I do appreciate it. See ya. Bye. Stop this.